Tony Robbins is one of the best peak performance coaches and business strategists in the entire world. And throughout my time being mentored by him, he has taught me 5 deep life lessons that have helped me go from a quiet people pleaser to a strong, unapologetic leader. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing those 5 lessons with you, of course, and sharing with you how they affected me and transformed me from a quiet people pleaser to a strong, unapologetic leader. Now, I want to say something at the beginning, which is make sure you stay till number 5, because that is the most important lesson that makes every single thing, both in this video and outside this video, easier to implement immediately in your life. So without further ado, let's get into lesson number 1, which is focus on what you can control. He asked a simple question to me and to many other people, which is, do you focus more on what you can't control or on what you can control? And really, your answer to that question, I'm telling you, my friend, even if you think you focus on what you can control, it's probably not true. You probably focus more on what you can't control. And that brings up frustration, anger, and anxiety. Most likely, and more importantly, anxiety. Because we think we focus on what we can control, but so often we sell our happiness to fear of judgment and to fear that other people are going to do us wrong. And of course, you and I both know we can't control other people. We can't control their opinions. We definitely can't control what they do and what they think. And so many times we give them that power by focusing or trying to focus on them rather than focusing on ourselves and our decisions, which is ultimately the only thing we can control. So when I learned that from him, it's like, holy shit, I've been giving my power away for years, focusing on other people, something I can never control, rather than focusing on my decisions and sticking to my values, which is something I can always control. And that kind of brings us into lesson number 2. I have it written down if you see me looking down, which is energy and state. He has this framework that basically says energy or state, story, strategy. If you're trying to make a better narrative for yourself, or if you're trying to come up with a better business strategy, it's so much easier if you're in a higher vibrational state, if you have more energy physiologically flowing through your body. So the easiest way to illustrate this is if you have your head down, your legs crossed, you're breathing shallow and short, maybe you feel frustrated. It's not easy to think positive thoughts, and it's definitely not easy to be empowered and to empower others. But if you're breathing strong, if you're standing up, your posture is great, you're feeling good, you're in that high vibrational state, it's so much easier to get things done. It's so much easier to come up with a strategy and positive thoughts and positive stories about yourself and others. So all of this to say, if you go to one of his events, and I've been to many, you will see that like 85% of his events are just being in positive states, because he understands this. The power of your nervous system is unmatched. And so if you can condition it into being in a high vibrational state, you will be fucking unstoppable. That's lesson number 2. Lesson number 3, probably my personal favorite. I think this will surprise the shit out of you. All suffering is self-induced, and the only way you can suffer is when you think about yourself. Now, he illustrates this in so many stories that have affected me so deeply. But ultimately, I'm not here to give you examples, so I'll just share with you my personal story about it. Or to give you other examples, I'm going to share with you my personal story. For years, I would wake up in the morning and think about how can I make more money? Also known as me. And throughout the day, I would be so focused on trying to make more money, and I would have a scarcity mindset, and I would make it all about me, and I would try to get better and better and better, and it was never enough. It worked sometimes, but it was still never enough. And I lived with that psychological scarcity and that inner turmoil for years. But when my question shifted, it's not about me, but to about others, which is, what do I deeply care about and what change do I want to make in the world? I knew I would make money from that, of course, because I'm doing something about it. I'm bringing value to the world. My life was no longer about me. It was about impacting and helping others. And so the same is true for you. When you make it about you, you suffer. Like it's such a cliche in the world, because it's about suffering, and it's true. So often you see parents trying to live through their kids. And when their kid does something that they don't feel proud of. Like my example, I won't necessarily say my parents, but maybe my parents, but definitely some of my old friends. They weren't really proud to associate with me because I dropped out of college. Maybe my parents as well, but I'm not sure. And I realized it wasn't about me. It was what people thought about them, about like being friends with me. So it was never about me. So the reason why they suffered is because they were making it about them. What do people think about me? That's when you suffer. When you go out and you want to be social and you feel socially anxious, you're thinking about what people think about you rather than how can you help other people? How can you bring a smile to someone's face? How can you ask them questions that help them feel better about themselves? When you take focus off of yourself and put it on others into helping others, which kind of goes with the first one, which is something you can control. You can control if you try to help others. Your life becomes so much better and suffering goes away immediately, like absolutely immediately. All right, let's get on to secret number 4, lesson number 4, and that brings us actually into a secret, which is the secret to living is giving. Kind of just a continuation of number 3, like the antidote for number 3. If you want to live a good life, focus on giving. Give, 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 and give. The universe will give you what you give back to the universe. It's a positive upward spiral. He has such a great story about this. Basically, he had like $7 left in his wallet one day, and he saw this mom, this little boy taking his mom out to lunch, and he basically gave his last $7 to this little boy. Went home, his friend sent him a $1,200 check that he'd been wanting for like maybe months, maybe years. And in that moment, he realized, actually even before that, the bliss he felt coming through his body because he learned the secret to abundance, which is just give as much as you can. You didn't come here to be isolated and alone. You came here to be connected and a giver. The person who gives the most will receive the most if you let yourself receive. Don't be that weird person that doesn't let yourself receive money. Like, let yourself receive, okay? And that kind of brings us on to the last one. My personal favorite, which is go all in. This is the last lesson that he has taught me both through words and through an example. His life is a lifestyle, a reflection of going all in. My friend, there's this quote that I love, which is 99.9% is a bitch, 100% is ease. Meaning, if you are not fully committed, it will be so much harder for you than if you fully are. Because your nervous system, your mind, even your friends can feel that and know that from you. And you are so much more likely to be supported and to be helped when you are going all in rather than when you're on the fence or constantly going back from thing to thing, or you're in denial, or you're not sure and you're in that uncertain state. If you go all in, there's just something about it that like that ripple, that decision sends a ripple, a shockwave throughout the universe. Like, and the universe is like, all right, you are serious about this now. Like, we're gonna help you. Like, you have the full support and weight of the universe behind you now when you go all in. And my personal example from this is actually with him. At one of his events, he was upselling like a master university package. It was like $10,000. I had $240 left in my bank account. They had a payment plan, which is like $250 for like, I don't know, 36 months or something. And I was like pleading with one of the people who was working it and like selling it. I was like, I don't have enough money. Can you just let me sign up and I'll pay it off? And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to afford to eat dinner tonight because part of that $240 in my bank account was my fucking dinner money. Now I have nothing. I literally have no money. I have no credit. I have nothing in my debit account. Fuck am I gonna do? It's like 7 p.m. The event rolls around. And of course, I walk right into the event. I'm feeling hungry, but I'm also feeling the bliss because I just signed up for something, really pushing my boundaries, pushing myself. And there is a buffet of food. And I'm like, I just made the right decision. Thank God. So my friend, when you take that leap of faith, when you go fully all in, and it will look different for everybody. So be aware of that. You know it best for yourself. When you go fully all in, I'm telling you from experience after experience, and not just my own experiences, life will give you so much more than you ever could have imagined. All right? And that is the end of the video. Those are the 5 lessons that Tony Robbins has taught me and I have learned to help me go from a people-pleasing, quiet, inner critic, procrastinator, all the above, to a strong, unapologetic, empowered, and empowering, I hope, leader. That is the end of the video, my friend. I love you. If you want help, we have a community. The link is down below in this description. I'll see you at the next video. I appreciate you. I believe in you. Keep going. Carpe diem your day. Most importantly, have an amazing rest of your day, continuing to be unexpected and surprising yourself. Peace.